to cloud, right. So that was a module description, right? And item 2.0, the module objectives and learning outcomes. So once you're finished with this module, you should be able to apply the knowledge and skills in conceptualizing and executing a research project. You should be able to develop a research proposal to address a specific business problem. You should be able to create a research design and procedures for the research effort. You should be able to engage in the data collection process, analyze and interpret research findings, and prepare a research report at the completion of the research project. So everything here looks pretty good and necessary, basically. So the module content and context, introduction to the research project, which is what we're doing now. Should be 3 hours, but we're going to do it in less than that. And next week, we can probably add some more to it if we don't finish up this week, right? So the specific objectives. So by the end of this unit, you should be able to demonstrate an understanding of the steps in research process. Select a research topic relevant to students' area of specialization. And so I'm going to want to hear what your research topic is going to be. And you may or may not know there's a form for you to fill out to tell me your research project, and the persons that are on your team. We'll get to that. Apply prior research knowledge to specific research activities. Use the library's database to access research reports. We're going to be doing what we call a desk study, or in my time it was desk study or literature survey, right? What do you guys call it now, by the way? Having done some research before. What's it called? Anybody? Yes, no? All right. Okay, so we can get to that, but we have to say what it's called. We, in my time, it was called literature survey or desk study. So you want to evaluate contents of the research report, and you should be able to summarize research reports using prescribed guidelines, and we're going to give you those guidelines. And in terms of content, you're talking about introduction to research project, the research process itself, research, which is a research topic, role of the literature in the research effort, and which is why in my time it was called literature survey, because you're basically just literature and reading up and bringing everything together, right? Research databases, guidelines for evaluating prior research, and the APA guideline, which you should be familiar with. You guys hear me, by the way? Hello? Yes. You're hearing me, right?
Yes, sir.
And you're familiar with the APA guidelines? Just let me know. Yes, no?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Just want to make sure. All right, great. 3.2, background to the research project. And that will take us another 3 hours, but specific objectives by the end of this unit, right? So you should be able to select the research topic for the research project. And as I said, most of you probably would have had bringing that project over from the research that you did before. And if not, by the way, everybody here, and did you see the list of students that we have on our project? Is everybody in a group? Or should I say, is anybody not in a group in this class tonight? Is anybody not in a group?
Yes, sir.
Tajay, okay.
I'm not.
Who is that? So Tajay and?
Tiana.
Sir, how much per group, sir?
No more than 5.
Sir, none of us chose any group members as yet.
Okay, that's fine. No, I mean from the past research that you did. That's what I'm talking about.
Sir, I have my POM research group already.
You broke up a while ago. Say it again, please.
I was saying I have my group for this class already.
Right. So some people have their group, but some don't. And that's why I was just trying to, just to know. So Tajay and who else again? Tajay and?
Tiana.
Tiana.
And Tracy.
Tracy. Mm-hmm.
Mikhail.
Huh?
And Sanika, sir.
Mikhail.
Mikhail?
Yes,
Yeah.
no group as well.
Anybody else?
Nathan.
Huh?
Sanika, sir.
Tell me the name.
Sanika Mackenzie.
Tonika?
Yes, sir. Mackenzie.
Yeah, hold on. Let me go back. Tanika. Oh, Sanika.
Yes, sir. Sanika.
Right. Anybody else?
Sir, Monique Edwards. So.
Monique.
Yes, sir.
Anybody else?
David Ashman, sir.
Huh?
Ashman, sir.
Who?
Yes, sir. Ashman.
Ashman, Davian. All right.
Taylor as well, sir.
Amoya.
Yes, sir.
Oh, so we'll form some
Sir,
groups.
Laura Stewart.
Who? Laura.
Nathan Reed.
Who?
Nathan Reed.
Nathan Reed. Yeah, so we have enough people to form 2 more groups, man. That's fine. Not a problem. Excellent. All right. And whoever else you can, we'll always add. Tajay, take your hand down unless you have a question now, please. All right, great.
So, sir, please to confirm group of 5, right?
Group of 5, yes.
Thank you.
Uh-huh. All right, great. All right, so we're getting there. We're getting somewhere. All right, so we'll select the research topic. So I suspect some of those persons who are not in groups, will have to set up a topic for you then, right? Develop a title for the research, right? Formulate the background to the research problem. Develop a problem statement. So you must have a problem we're trying to solve, right? And develop a purpose and objective for the research. Prepare research questions and or hypotheses. State the significance of the research. Identify limitations and delimitations of the research. And you're gonna write a concept paper, all right? The content of the research topic, obviously the group gonna come together and find the topic. Put in the research title, your dependent and independent variables, background, research problem, the purpose and objective of the research question and guiding questions, significance of the study, limitations and delimitations, the concept paper, content and guidelines, and of course, as we said, the APA guidelines. Yes, sir. Okay, right. Review of related literature. So at the end of reviewing your related literature, you're able to demonstrate the use of your information gathering skills. They've been doing, obviously, research. You'll be doing a lot of research, gathering information, right? You will be able to review prior research reports specific to research questions, analyze methodological procedures used, and findings by researchers. Be able to write a literature review, and again, as always, apply APA guidelines. And this is when you're citing certain writers or researchers. You need to know how to basically give them credit for in your document. The content, we look at strategies for researching databases, strategies for analyzing research reports, structure of the literature review, introduction and summary of the literature review, literature review, language and style, right? APA formatting in text citation, referencing, as I mentioned earlier, headings and other guidelines. In terms of research methodologies, designs, and procedures, which is gonna take a while, right? At the end of that, you should be able to apply an appropriate research methodology to answer the research question, determine the research method and techniques relevant to the study, right? Select the appropriate types of data sources, create data collection instruments, and by this could be surveys or whatever you want to use. And I think one of the documents will tell you can use SurveyMonkey or Google Questionnaire, that kind of stuff. But you know, you guys will have your pick of the survey types to use, and other methodologies for collecting data. Prepare your research plan, prepare a budget and timeline for research activities, right? Apply sampling techniques in the data collection process. You should be able to conduct a research pilot study. And again, it tells you what your pilot should be, how many persons should be in your pilot study. Analyze data from the pilot study and refine the questionnaire. So you have a questionnaire, but you test it first before you go in your big population, you know, test it with 2 to 5 people. If there's any refinement, if you get any feedback from those persons in your pilot study.
Sir, question.
Yes, go ahead.
Sir, we did some research before. We can choose one of those topics we did before.
That's exactly it. Yeah, that's what we want you to do. That's why I asked you if you have your group already.
Okay.
Exactly. Right, exactly. And for those who didn't have a topic, which is I find odd, then we're gonna have to select a topic for you, or help you to select a topic.
But sir, the problem is that the problem from persons were in groups with other persons. That doesn't like. All right, I was in a group with 4 persons. And most of the persons are doing general management and all those stuff. So if I
also they move over to the general management project. Is that it?
Yeah, man. So if we are going to use the same project, would that be a problem?
Let me check on that for you. I can take that by the next class, or I can WhatsApp you.
Question, sir. Sir, for the persons that just told you that they don't have a group, we can form a group, right?
Yes, of course.
All right, thank you.
And I prefer that you just form a group, because I see about 10 people here. You can form a group, 2 groups can be formed, and I'll give you some topics to look at. And I can help you to
Sir, I think the information was a bit crossed, because we thought you were saying who's not in a group at the moment, because Monique and I were in groups for research methods, so we did the same research topic. So we're a bit thrown off by the question you asked.
Oh, okay. All right, we'll seek to clarify that situation.
Sir, how much
You're in a group,
per group?
because that group might be using the same project in another research project, you know, so we'd have 2 projects that are almost the same. You know what I mean? And I don't know that is something that we want. You understand? Hello? You guys are understanding me?
Yes, sir, we understand you.
Okay, good. All right.
Sir, how many persons do a group?
Oh man. I'm sure did you just come into the class?
No, sir, but I wasn't hearing you at some point. I think I missed out some of the info that you were saying.
5 people.
5?
Yes.
All right, thanks.
Okay. So that's the pilot, right? And you want to analyze qualitative data from the given information that you get, and engage in a data collection process. Use ethical guidelines to conduct research. Ethical guidelines, right? Prepare a research proposal, right? So in terms of the content, we're talking about research methodologies, so it's quantitative, qualitative, and mixed methods, right? Quantitative research methods, we're talking about surveys, observation studies, correlation studies, longitudinal studies, and developmental studies. Quantitative research data collection techniques, i.e. questionnaires, interviews, observation, secondary data. Now with COVID, I don't know if that's going to pose an issue, but we can work around anything basically. We are production and operations managers, right? And practitioners, so we can work around anything. Your qualitative research data collected techniques included interviews, focus groups, observations, documents, and document analysis, and historical information. So that's your qualitative research data. And your questionnaire design, and you're talking about designing it so you can get some quantitative data out of it, right? Your interview guide, right, which is qualitative basically. Primary and secondary data sources, population and sample frames, right? So you want to make sure your population and sample size makes sense, right? Probability and non-probability sampling techniques, characteristics of different types of data collection instruments, characteristics of a research plan, validity and reliability, because that's always important, that you have to be able to validate the information that you're going to be putting out there. Data and methodological triangulation, right? Ethics in research, ethical guidelines for conducting research on human subjects. So basically, of ethics where you're telling the person what you're all about, and if you can use the data that they've given you, that's part of your whole guideline for conducting your research. Participant consent basically is the same thing I just mentioned a while ago, right? The consent of the participants. And your analysis of data. And once you've completed this, you should be able to apply statistical and non-statistical methods of analyzing the research data. Should be able to demonstrate an understanding of descriptive and inferential statistics. Test your hypothesis if you have one. Conduct a pilot study, analyze quantitative data, qualitative data, and generate tables, graphs, charts, diagrams, etc. through the use of software. I'm going to get to software. So we're talking about parametric and non-parametric tests, hypothesis testing, data entry and analysis using Excel, right? Data entry and analysis using SPSS software. Anybody has never used SPSS software? Show of hands, please, just so I know. Never used it? Anik, you've never used it? Okay.
What's that? What is that? What is that?
Statistical software. That's fine. Just wanted to know. So most people. So
Analytical software.
Right, a statistical software where it's data. It crunches numbers, but it's like Excel.
Yes, sir. I use it, but I don't. It's not one of the. I think it's an internal software. I believe.
Yes, it is.
It's called Cognos. So normally, when I want like sales data and some production, like especially stock inventory, I can go on it and I can pull from years back, probably like about 2000.
All right, so fine. We're gonna get into that in detail, and we're gonna practice section for that. So that's important. That's very important. Hands down now. Right, everybody take their hands down now. All right, so we're talking about data reduction, categorizing, coding of the data, right? The theme development for qualitative data. By coding, basically you're putting a code or a number to a certain data, right? And we'll go through that, not a problem. Use of, we say, graphs, charts, diagrams, pictorials, maps, audio and video files. So it's quite intense, guys. Interpretation of findings. And here your objectives are, you should be able to interpret research findings based on analysis of data, compare and contrast research findings to the literature analyzed earlier in the research process, right? That's your literature review, basically. From your literature review, you will discuss research findings and their implications, draw and justify conclusions based on research findings, make recommendations for policy and practice based on research results, and make recommendations for future research, which is nice. All right. So the content is we're going to review a review of research questions, evaluate the results, confirmation of issues. So the issues that we have, we talk about them, confirm them, right? Making recommendations, what is to be done, who should do it, why it should be done, how it should be done, and the timelines for getting it done. All right. So it's not just a pie in the sky, but you want to have timelines for what should be done. And then the report, the research report. So by the end of the unit, you should be able to demonstrate an understanding of the relevance of research reports and proposal in business. Write the research report using formal language, style, and logical development strategies. Write the research report using prescribed criteria. Explain the importance of ethics in research. Develop an engaging PowerPoint presentation of the report. I'm looking forward to that PowerPoint presentation, guys. Use effective oral presentation skills and deliver a winning oral presentation of the research. So, well, the content is business research reports, business proposals, criteria for a report document, language style, talk about a paragraph development, ethical consideration, interactive presentation software. I use Prezi. Anybody ever use Prezi, by the way? It's like PowerPoint. Anybody ever use it? No?
No, sir.
Okay. Google Drive, Aesthetics, PowerPoint Alternative, Powtoon, 280 Slides, and Slide Rockets. These are just presentation software, basically. Interactive ones, right? Voice and speech for effective communication, nonverbal communication strategies. And here, this basically is some instructional learning approaches. We'll touch on that. Let me see. Yeah, there's a SPSS lab that we're gonna have to work in terms of getting you up to speed on using that software. So we're gonna get to that. So this is just basically showing you how we're gonna get you in that lab and start working on some of these data analysis methodology using SPSS, right? So not to worry. We'll show you how to download it and all of that. So not to worry. How to put in your data, all of that. So we'll get into details of that once we get to it. All right. So I have set up a sort of like a schedule for you guys. So this is the one on Moodle, but I've set up one with some dates and all of that for you. We're gonna go through that also.
Sir, I have a question.
Yep.
Sorry to interrupt you, but for the SPSS, right? Is it a case where if you used it in another class before, I mean, because I think it's a one-time thing, you know, would it be a problem to use it again?
No, man, you'll be able to use it here.
Oh,
Crunch your data. You need to be able to use it here to crunch your data. And you must use it here to crunch your data.
no, I think you understand what I'm asking. The thing is, sometimes I think it allowed us to only use a free trial for like a period of time. So I'm not sure if would I able to download it again and use it.
No, you should be. I think the university has bought or subscribed to it, so you shouldn't have a problem. You shouldn't have a problem.
All right.
But when we get to it, when we get to that bridge, we'll definitely deal with it. But you shouldn't have a problem because that's what you're gonna have to use for the project. All right, one second. Right. Somebody had a hand up. Tamoya, you had a question?
No, sir.
Oh, yeah. Take your hand down then. Here? All right, so here are some of the assessments and assessment procedure, the research proposal, group and individual. Students will work together to develop, write, and submit a research proposal. So you're gonna have to write a proposal for research. You will also make an oral presentation of the proposal to the class, and that's worth 20%, right? The pilot study, again, group. So after the development of the questionnaire, the students will conduct a pilot study using a sample, small sample, right? This one says 10 to 15 persons in your sample, that's your sample size, right? The student will collate findings, document observations, and refine the questionnaire so you can use it in a bigger sample group, right? And that's worth 10%. Data analysis exercise, the student will be given an exercise to complete and submit during or after the seminar, right? After the seminars, and that's 20%. Final project, right? Group and individual, the students will make an oral presentation of the research project to the class. And the final group project, again, students will submit a written report of the research project. So, and it's chapter 1 to 5, basically, and we're gonna go through the different chapters. It's not just a presentation, but it's also a document that has to be submitted. You know, just so you know, I'm not the only person who's going to be marking or giving you grades on this research project. There's a wider body that's going to be evaluating your presentation as well as your final group project, just so you know, okay? But not to worry, I'll definitely be guiding you through all of that. All right. So here again, your individual as well as your group assessment. So your individual is 40% and your group is 60% in terms of allocation, right? So for the proposal and presentation, remember, say it's 20% total. So you have 10 for individual and 10 for group. The pilot study, right? It's 10 just for group. There will be none marks allocated for individual because it's a group of you who decided on the pilot study. The data analysis exercise is 20% individual, that's the total, so nothing for the group there. And the final project, oral presentation, remember you're all presenting, right? That's 10% individual, none for group. And then the final project, the written document, is 40% being allocated to the group. All right, so that's your 4 to 6, the breakdown. All right. And just an hours breakdown, which you don't need to worry about. Here are some text basically. I'm going to look back to see if the text is on Moodle. But these are the required texts. Sikaran, U and Bogie. Research methods for business. Skill building approach, 6th edition. So try and get to this text if it's not on Moodle. I will check on that. Yeah. And other recommended reading and resources. And you can make use of what's listed here to assist you in doing your research paper. All right. Let me go back to the chat and see one other question. Oh, groups, Denisha. Denisha didn't have Denisha on that. Denisha Hall. Sanika. Yeah, I have Sanika. All right, fine. All right, so I've taken care of the chat. And this is your outline for students. So we went through the syllabus just now. As you can tell, you're gonna have to be the one who's gonna be doing a whole lot of reading, okay? You can read up on this. We've gone through the syllabus already, but this is just for you to read upon. All right, the learning outcomes we talked about already. Group formation and size, here we go, guys. You guys are seeing this, right? Just tell me, yes, no? Are you seeing this?
Yes, sir, we're seeing it.
All right, the group formation and size, the students will work in groups of 5 persons. Students will be allowed to form their own groups based on their research topic and interests. Students will carry forward, here we go, students will carry forward their group research proposal from their 3rd year business research methods class. All right, subject to approval by me, okay? What you can do, and you're gonna have to, there's a document that you're gonna have to fill up to tell me your project that you're gonna be working on. If you send me that quickly, then we'll see where we can take it from if you've done some people are split off from your group. If the group does not have a research proposal, then they must develop one by week 6 of the semester. And I'm recommending that you do it in 3 weeks, guys, because you don't want to be ifing and butting, guys. You want to know exactly where your head is at in terms of what you're going to be dealing with. So I'd want us, if you don't have a project, to deal with it quickly, all right? Project duration, you're going to go to the end of the semester. APA format, everybody says they're aware of the APA format, right? In terms of citations, referencing, that kind of stuff. Paging, page numbering, all that kind of stuff for the APA format. Now, plagiarism, guys, this is very important. Very, very important. Plagiarism is not allowed. Okay, plagiarism is regarded as academic misconduct and is a major offense with punitive consequences. Okay, students should be reminded of the university's policy on plagiarism. If you're not sure of the policy, please check your student's handbook, regulation number 5. Okay, please, guys, it's very important. It'd be a shame for anybody to get 0 for this project because of plagiarizing. Okay, so I can't emphasize that enough. And this is just your breakdown. Again, it's right here for your total marks for this one here. It's a little different in terms of the breakdown. It was 60-40. Here it's saying 45-55. A 5-mark difference, not a big deal, right? But here it is, all right? So you have it on hand. I can harden this up or confirm this up within another 2 weeks or so, all right? As you remember, the other one was saying 40-60. This is saying 45-55. So we clear that up. But again, 5 marks is no big deal in the scheme of things. Either way, individual versus group. All right. All right. Research proposal presentation, research presentation and proposal document, right? This is going to be due week 6, which is September 27th. Let me see. I had some dates on my thing, so I just want to make sure. Pilot study. Your pilot study is due week 9, which is October 18. These are important dates, guys. You don't want to miss these dates. Your oral presentation of the research project is November 22nd, and your research project report is due December 6th. I will not extend any of these deadlines, guys. Just letting you know from Jump Street, okay? Or from the start, put it that way, okay? These are your deadlines. Take a picture, do whatever you want. These are your dates, okay? Here's your assignment 1, your proposal document, submission and presentation, which is worth 25 marks. And this is how you set it up. right? Every chapter will have a introduction. So here we have chapter 1 introduction, your individual topic, your introduction of your topic, its background and importance. Whoever is going to present that, their name there, statement of the problem needs to be there. Section 2, purpose of the research, research question and sub-questions, significance of the research, and the definition of the key terms. And then here we go with chapter 2 now, your literature survey, which is your literature review, your subtopic 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on and so on. And your allotted marks for that is out of 5. And chapter 3 now will be your research methodology. And whoever is going to present that, your research approach, data collection, your techniques to be used, the population size, the sample size, your procedure for conducting the research, your instrumentation, which is a description of your questionnaire and interview guide. Right. 1 second. First.
Sir, questions.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
When we did the research for year 3, we had chapter 1 up to chapter 4. And if we're going to use what we did before, that means that would have covered some ground already.
Good for you. Good
No,
for
I'm
you.
just asking.
I'm saying that's good for you. That's fine. That is fine.
Okay.
That's fine.
So please check on the thing for us. Because
Yes.
I know the ladies, some persons are not in this thing, but they are in different major. So we want to know if we have the same project. If we can tweak it a little bit and good.
I will. Anik, go ahead, Anik.
Yes, sir. I just want to clarify something. So for POM research project, we're actually going to be executing the research now, right? So we're gonna sending. So I know the proposal, how it was termed, is what we're going to do. Now we're gonna actually do it, right? So for like the methodology, if we had said in the proposal we're going to use questionnaires or interviews, no, we're going to actually execute the questionnaires.
Yes, definitely. Yeah. Yeah.
And then we'd report on our findings in the methodology part.
Right.
All right.
And here, while I'm looking at this, you're going to be telling me about the description of the questionnaire, the interview guide, all of that kind of stuff. And you're actually going to do the interviews and give me the results.
Right. So, sir, so we can say it's pretty much business research methods and also POM issues analysis, because we did something similar for POM issues analysis, but it's just different headings.
Yeah.
But it was same research project.
But I suspect you never really executed. You just wrote what you could have done or should have done, but you never execute. Am I correct?
We executed it, but not like how. So not. I don't know how to explain it so well. We had to find information, but the questionnaires weren't necessarily targeted towards probably individuals like customers and stuff like that. It's really to the organization so that we could gather information from the organization itself.
Well, now you're probably gonna have to target individuals because a sample size.
Right.
Validate and tell me why you use 100 people for your questionnaire.
Right.
Is 100 a good number? Or did you come up with a number of 100 in terms of your methodology? Right? So you're gonna have to do that. And then you're gonna have to do validation, reliability, and is the data transferable, that kind of stuff, right?
Right. So,
We'll
sir,
get-
what do you think? Like, how best we can determine a good sample size? Like, how do we go about that?
Well,
Because
statistically, there's many ways to do it, but one of the ways is if your population, and I'll just say this out loud, but we're going to define it some more once we get into the meat of it. But what I've always said, if my population is n, then a good sample size is the square root of n.
Okay.
No, that's for me. But we're going to get into details as to how the University of Technology wants you to define your sample size or come up with your sample size.
Right, because I asked her because for PM issues analysis, when I was trying to determine the sample size, it's really Google I use, and there was a formula that they said. I
Oh,
remember it right now.
yeah, this
When I asked
square root of n is cut and dry, but we're going to get into more detail. The university might want you to do a little bit more detail, but mine, from my engineering background, my quick cut and thrust is square root of n, right? Or 100, whichever is greater. So we're going to talk about that, but we're going to get into detail as to how the university wants you to determine your sample size. All right.
All right. Cool. Thanks.
Yeah. Okay. Great. So here's what it looks like, guys. Your research proposal document, which is 10 marks. It should for each chapter should be guided by the outline. Here, your chapter 1, introduction, 2, your literature review, right? And the marks are allocated as shown because it's a total of 10 marks. Methodology and design, 3 marks. Your citations using APA in terms of citing where you got your information from, get 1 for that. And you're including your reference list. Again, using the APA format is 1. So your total mark for the group is 10. There's no reason why you guys can't ace this thing. You know what I'm saying? All right. Your student information, which is what we're gonna want from each group, right? So you send me this to each group, right? Your name, your number, and you leave out just take this format, but put in the name of each person in that group, the 5 persons in the group, and their ID number, right? That needs to be in there. Yeah. Okay, so notes to students in groups of 5, you're required to present a research proposal based on the guidelines from your business research methods. Are you seeing this? Same guidelines, right? It is recommended that you retrieve and use this proposal continuing in the same level 3 group. But some of you're saying you don't have the same group. So I suspect you can use the same project then, from what I'm gathering. If this is not possible, then you will develop a new proposal within the first 4 weeks of the semester. And I'm saying to you, we're gonna try and develop this within the first 3 weeks, right? To present in week 6. A list of suggested topics is presented in Appendix A. So all we need to do, and we can do this now, is go to Appendix A and look at the list of topics. There are some topics that I would really love to see you guys work on. I must tell you, I went through the list earlier today, and there's some good topics that you guys can work on, right? The proposal must be approved by myself. Presentation is broken down into subsections. Each student will present on one of the subsections. In addition, are you guys following this? Did you guys present in your last research methods?
No, sir.
All right, well, you're gonna have to present. So here's the thing. The presentation is broken down into subsections, as you saw earlier. Each student will present on one of the subsections, okay? In addition, so somebody can talk about the literature survey, somebody can talk about the methodology and the survey instruments that you use, your questionnaires, that kind of thing, right? Somebody can talk about the data analysis after that kind of thing. So, but it's 5 subsections in addition to presenting a section of the literature review. This is based on a group of 5 persons. You will be graded individually, right? Complete the form by inserting your name and ID number in the appropriate columns in tables 1 and 3. So this is table 3 that we looked at, and we can go and we can also look at table 1. All right. So you're gonna have some time, take your time, read through this, right, and come back with questions next week. Take your time, form your groups, and look at the headings and see where we can take it. Okay, the form is to be sent to you to me, all right, before you present, obviously. A copy of the PowerPoint presentation is to be sent to myself again also. Presentation time per group, right, is 30 minutes, including questions and answers, right? This is your proposal, 30 minutes, right? So each person will have, what, 6 minutes, 5 minutes to do their proposal. The research proposal submission from form is in Appendix C and must be completed and sent to the supervisor ahead of the presentation. So we're talking about all the appendices that we need to look at, right? Final proposal document should be submitted. Research instrument, which is the questionnaire, should be included in the proposal. All right. And then we get to the pilot study now, which is 10 marks. Remember, the pilot study is a smaller subset group. It's not the big study, but you're doing the pilot. All right, let's read it. The pilot study is conducted after the completion of the research instrument. So you're developing a research instrument, which is the questionnaire, right? The objective is to test the research on a small scale in order to identify and resolve possible problems with the instrument and or the procedures. The questionnaires are to be administered to your selected sample as outlined in your proposal. A small sample of 5 to 10 persons from the population is recommended. Okay, somebody, O'Shane, I didn't get to you earlier. You came into the class.
Yes, good night. Sir, I don't have any Wi-Fi at home because I'm in the country, so I had to run to a neighbor's house to get some Wi-Fi. However, I just wanted to let you know that I'm joining the group for problem gambling.
I'm sorry, you're joining the group for?
Problem gambling.
Problem gambling. All right, well, we will, who else did problem gambling? That was your topic?
Yes, sir.
That was your topic?
Yes.
Is there anybody else in this group who did problem gambling? All right, it would seem like you need to get into another group then. If it is that they don't want to do problem gambling. Because I think, and who are the persons in your group? There's nobody here in this class who was in your group in your third year. That's a problem. So you might get into another group that chooses a different topic. You understand? Oshin?
I think there are persons doing it, sir.
Oh, okay.
They just haven't indicated.
Oh, I wonder why. Oh, Anik, you were in problem gambling?
Oh, no, sir. It's a question I wanted to ask.
That's your hand is up. Okay, so I don't see anybody else who's saying or indicating that they did problem gambling. Oshin? All right, Oshin, you can take your hand down.
Yes,
Anik, go ahead.
I didn't hear what you said, sir.
No, your hand is up. Your hand's up.
Oh, I didn't take it down. It was from before.
Okay, Oshin, so you heard that, right? Problem gambling. I don't think there's anybody else who did that. That's not to say it can't be done, but you might have to choose a different topic. All right, take your hand down, Anik.
Okay.
Sir, is a question I want to ask. I did put up my hand.
Yeah, but I asked you, said it was a mistake. All right, go ahead.
Don't judge me for this question.
No, not at all.
I just want to clarify. So for example, or the research topic could be like how COVID has affected employee productivity
Yeah,
and
man, we have one of
technology.
those in there. I saw that in one of them. Yes.
Right.
That's a nice one.
At a specific organization.
Yeah, man.
That's
That's a
what the
good
topic
one.
is supposed to be, right?
Yeah, yeah.
All right, cool.
And so you've read through the topics then, have you? You've looked at
Yeah,
them?
I read.
Because I know I saw that was one of them. That was one, yeah. Of course.
All right, sir.
All right, so the pilot study is conducted, as I said, small sample, 5 to 10 persons from the population recommended. So administering a questionnaire. The questionnaire will be, well, times flies. Well, the questionnaire will be administered online using Google Docs, as we said, SurveyMonkey. I mean, I'm sure some of you guys have used SurveyMonkey in the past, right? Or other appropriate software. Students should familiarize themselves with the software and make preparations for its use, all right? So right away, something to do if you want to play around with SurveyMonkey, play around. Obviously, you guys have used Google Docs before, right? But SurveyMonkey is pretty good. Anybody use SurveyMonkey before?
Yes, sir.
Great.
Yes, sir.
There you go. You're off to the races already. The content and the mark scheme, students will state the purpose of the research along with the main research question and sub-questions, right? That's for 1 mark. Describe, so this is the rubrics in terms of how you get your marks now. Describe the procedure followed, which is 2 marks. So your questionnaire design, your sample composition and selection, right? Your report on observations made in the field, collate and report results, 3 marks. Report on validity and reliability of the instrument, make recommendations for refining the instrument, and present a revised instrument, which is good. Assignment 3 is the data analysis exercise, which is 20 marks, right? Students will do 9 hours of computer lab session, right? So 3 weeks and 3 hours per week for the quantitative data analysis component of the module. The 3 weeks will not be consecutive, but will spread over the duration of the semester, right? So it's not 3 weeks in a row, or it doesn't have to be 3 weeks in a row. So a schedule will be provided to students for the computer lab sessions. And by computer lab, basically, you're gonna be doing it from home, basically, but we're gonna be on a certain software, basically. And that should be the PSPSS, right? A graded assignment will be given by the workshop facilitator for the quantitative data analysis segment of the module, okay? This assignment will emanate from the workshops and will be issued and graded by the workshop facilitator, okay? You guys clear on that? There's gonna be a workshop, right? Basically, it's a lab, and you're going to be given assignments in terms of your data crunching and that kind of stuff, your data analysis, and that will be marked by the workshop facilitator, wherever that's going to be, okay? And then 12, oral presentation on the project. This is 10 marks, right? This is a group presentation, but each student, right, is assessed individually. So what you do, you get your presentation together and everybody has their part that they're going to be speaking on, right? The key areas of assessments are your introduction, your problem statement, your research question and sub-questions, and your hypothesis, the summary of literature, the methodology, your data analysis, your interpreted results in relation to the research questions, summary of your findings, conclusions and implications of the research, presented feasible recommendations, your presentation skills, guys, your speech, your language, your nonverbal cues, etc. Adequately responded to questions asked, because there's a panel that's gonna be asking you questions, so you need to be able to answer those questions, right? Each group presentation should be approximately 30 minutes, followed by a 10-minute of question and answers. All right. So these are the headings that you're talking about, and basically you can group them for 5 people to be presenting on. So these are 2. What we're going to mark on. This is what we're going to be marking on. How you put in your introduction, your problem statement, all that kind of stuff. All right. Your assignment 5 is a research project report. So this note well, there should be a spiral bound copy and a soft copy of the final report document are to be submitted to the supervisor. Content and the mark scheme is going to be marked out of 100%. Preliminary pages are 4 marks. So we'll start your title, right? And the format is to be seen below. So mark your abstract, your acknowledgements, and your table of contents, all right? Your chapter 1, your introduction, which is the introduction of the research topic and its importance, background of the problem, statement of the problem, purpose of the research, research question and sub-questions, and basically the hypothesis, significance of the study, definition of key terms. Your chapter 2 is your literature review. So this is a combined effort of all group members. Each group member will review the related literature relevant to a particular sub-question and write a review on the subtopic. One group member will tie it together and write the introduction and the summary. All right, so the person who you figure can best write. Person. The narrative should flow. It should not be disjointed. Your literature review should include your introduction, stating the topic and focal questions, outlining various sub-areas, the types of articles reviewed, the source of articles. Your body will include a review of at least 2 articles in total from your peer-reviewed journals. Articles used should be current, i.e. within the last 5 years. Identify the themes in each article, identify the research methods used in the articles, compared, contrast, and connected, show the relationship the article of the articles. Then you should have your summary, which you highlighted the common themes in the literature, present a brief summary of the main findings, identify gaps in the literature, recommend new areas for research, which is nice, right? Literature review is written in the past tense. Remember that now? Literature review is written in the past tense. All citations should be included in the reference list, and it should be 10 to 15 pages long. So this tells you exactly what you need to do. Attention should be paid to language, grammar, and spelling. Okay. Let me see.
Why, sir, this sound overwhelming, man.
No,
Like,
man, you'll be all right. It's a lot of work. So your research methodology and design, that's worth 15 marks. So the research method and reasons for selection, that's 1 mark. Participants, population, and sample. Research approaches used, data collection techniques, research instrument description, procedures. I mean, I sat in on a presentation and it was excellent, actually. I'm going to see if I can find that and look back over it again, but it was a very good presentation, I must say. So validity, ethical consideration, budget and timelines, and chapter 4. We're going to chapter 4, your data analysis. Obviously, again, your introductory paragraph, 3 marks, your research objectives, the methodology used, the population used, your data collection site, the period of data collection, your data analysis method to be used, your statistical techniques employed, your analyzed quantitative data using the SPSS software, 5 marks. The output shown in the appendix. So you put your output in the appendices, right? If the student use another method for quantitative analysis, example, Excel, you'll only get 2 marks. So you see, we're pushing towards you using your SPSS, okay? Or if research was qualitative and students displayed the data reduction procedure, then it's 5 marks. So we're gonna have to go through that data reduction procedure if anybody's gonna just use qualitative stuff. I wanna suggest that you use quantitative stuff. Results of analysis presented, 8 marks. So you put in table format, figures, diagrams, graphs, that kind of stuff with labels and explanations. So nice graphs would be, will enhance your grade, right? Your demographic information is presented early, even though it may appear last on the questionnaire. Everybody knows what demographics is, age group, that kind of stuff. Yeah, all right, income, all that kind of stuff if we're gonna go there. Discussion, conclusion, and recommendations. Introduction to the section again, discussion of results, answer the research question, the hypothesis, in subheadings. Relate findings to the literature review, point out similarities and differences, implications of business practices, summary and conclusion, recommendations, recommendations for future research, right? I'm looking forward to seeing some of those recommendations. End matters, that's 4 marks. Reference listing using APA, appendices, questionnaire, your consent form from each of the persons who are filling out the questionnaire, additional tables, diagrams, chart, pictures, your SSP output, etc. Extra marks, Appendices must be referred in the body, right? So must be able to know where they were, so you know to label when in the document, so people know where to find the information in your appendices. Obviously, as I said, you use APA format, right? And your language, your grammar, your spelling, your synthesis, etc. will be 5 marks for that. So make sure you do your spell check, guys. I mean, you can't go wrong with your spell check, The guidelines, preparation guidelines for your project report. Title page, your font is 12-point font, Times New Roman, margin 1 inch, your paper size 8.5 by 11, double space, apply at least 3 level headings, page numbering, lowercase, and it goes through all of that. Running head is located at the top left hand, page number located at the top right hand margin. Pay attention again to your language, your spelling, and your grammar. All right. And so here are some of the appendices that we can look at. I don't have time to look at them, but I think we want to look at the topics. So Appendix A, suggested topics. Appendix B, a research proposal submission form. And your Appendix C is a sample of the title page for submission. So appendices, if we can find those. Here we are. Here are the list of topics, guys. So let's go down to our POM quickly. So here are our topics. There are your topics. Employee productivity and performance, employee productivity and technology, employee productivity and quality, quality and performance, quality and technology, innovation and technology, land transportation and logistics, processes and efficiency, processes and innovation, Q analysis and customer satisfaction, inventory management and firm performance, inventory management and technology, innovation and sustainability, efficiency and productivity. All right, so those of you who weren't in a group, you can pick a couple topics so that when you get together in your group, you can toggle it around to find topics. So we're talking about, is what we're talking about, 2 additional groups. Let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Whoa, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, it's about 2 groups, right? 2 groups of persons. So choose your topics. If you want me to form groups here for the persons who are not in groups, or you'll form your own groups. Anybody can comment?
The groups already.
Huh?
From the groups already.
No, the persons who said they weren't in a group, those groups are formed already. That's what I'm talking about. And there's some persons who said they weren't in a group.
Yeah, me, you can also me. I'm not in a group, but I formed one.
Oh, you formed one. All right. So send us the list of the persons in your group quickly, and then the other persons then will form. Well, by default, will be in a group. So choose. All right. Let me hear all the persons in your group, Davian. Go ahead. Davian, go ahead. Davian. Anybody? Yes, tell me them now, quickly. First name.
All right, Davian Ashman.
Yeah, man. Who are
Monique Edwards. Monique Edwards.
Monique, yeah.
Sanika Mackenzie. Tajay Clark. And Tamoya Taylor.
Tamoya, all right. So the other persons then are Tiana, Tracy, Michael, right? Laura, Nathan, and Denisha. That's about 6 persons. Right?
I joined one already, sir.
You joined a group? Who's speaking?
Tiana.
Tiana, you've joined a group already. All right.
There and Nathan has joined a group as well.
Who else joined a group already?
Nathan.
Tracy, you joined a group. Nathan, you joined a group.
Yes, sir.
So Michael, Laura.
Sir, Michael is in a group already.
Michael, you're in a group already?
Yeah, I joined the group, yes, sir.
You joined the group already? Huh?
Sir, I'm in a group already.
Yes, sir.
All right, so send me the list of groups. That's all right. Everybody seems to be in a group. Denisha, you don't seem to be in a group.
Yes, sir.
You're in a group.
Yes, sir.
All right, so we're good. All groups are formed. Beautiful. Now, just the topics we're talking about now, right? All right, so groups, every group has a topic or not yet? Here are the topics, guys.
Sir, I want can more than one group use that
No. I would say no to that.
Sir, but that's not fair, because we wouldn't know that, because my group did already plan, so we're going to use employee productivity and performance. And then see Vashina group send it in, sir. But we're just going to use different companies. So we'll see, wouldn't be the same information.
No, I'll have to check on that to make sure. All right, I can get back to you on that.
So
I prefer to see different presentations, right? I want to see 2 people with the same presentation. That's personally, that's me. I mean, but this is UTech, so I don't want to say how they would want to work it, but I'll get back to you on that. I'll certainly get back to you on that.
So,
all right.
So in the meantime, I wanted the second topic, sir.
Sir?
Yes.
My group going to do innovation and sustainability.
All right, that's fine. So innovation.
Sir, we can mix and match.
Come on, man. What do you mean mix and match? How are you gonna mix and match? How?
If we can pick, like, say, can we put like productivity and innovation together or something like
Not
that?
there. Do you see that there?
No, but that's why I asking, can we mix
So you
them?
have the topics. So you have the topics here. Production. You have it,
So we have
productivity and performance, productivity and technology, productivity and quality.
So we have to pick from what's there then.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, sir.
All right. Okay, so pick your topics, guys, and that will give you a step ahead. And because this was the first class, I know we're going on a little bit, but it's nice to just get some of this stuff out of the way. So let's hope people don't mind. Next appendix. It's appendix C, appendix B. Where are we at now? Quickly. Appendix B. Your proposal submission form. I mean, this is it basically. So you're gonna have put in a semester 1, academic year 2021, module name, module code, all of that stuff. I'm just putting your names basically there, my name, and then I'll do the rest of it there. So that takes care of that. Then appendix D. Is how it's gonna look. So that's their topic, an investigation into the utilization of accounting software, names and ID number, that's the course submitted to me and the date on the submission. All right, so those are the 3 appendices. Proposal presentation template. We didn't do B. Let's try this quickly. Here we go. Proposal template. I think we had looked at this in the thing there before, right? So we can look at that. There's some dates that I see there, and I'm just wondering because we're basically to the end of it, but there's some dates that I had put in my thing that I hope it coincides with the date that I saw here. So let me stop this for a minute and look back at this and tell me the date, schedule of assignments, share. So I had done this up. There is a date. I think we're coinciding with the same date. 27 for the presentation of the proposal document. October 18 for the pilot submission. I'm going to check these dates to make sure they're the same before I concretize this for you to have during the week, so we can look back at it next week. These dates here, the assignment due dates. There are some on the syllabus. If I could I'll check back to make sure before sending them to you to make sure they're the same dates. All right. All right, guys. So that's it for tonight, and we will meet back next week. Soon. So you'll have your groups. You've had your groups together now of no more than 5, and you can choose your topic. I mean, I think you can do that in this week, though. Choose your topic and get going. All right, guys. So we will get back to each other next week. If anything, I'm in the WhatsApp group, so I'll send you any additional information as I get it. All right. Raised hand. Go ahead. I don't know who this is.
Sir, good night once more.
Who is
Can
this?
I say it is Rochelle Campbell speaking?
Yeah, well, I called on you and you didn't introduce yourself.
Sir, what?
On your computer.
Sure, I didn't hear. Sorry about that.
Did you introduce yourself?
No, sir, I didn't hear when you called on me. Sorry
Yes,
about that.
Your computer does not have your name. It has some name.
Oh. Okay. Sorry about that, sir. I didn't even realize that it doesn't as my name. But can I raise my question, please, before you end?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, so can I state my topic here for confirmation, or should I send you an email or WhatsApp?
No, state it so other people know, so that you know.
All right, so the topic that I used from BRM was, how does the COVID-19 pandemic affect the human resource managers of tertiary education institution?
Human resource managers of tertiary institutions. So you're talking about UCC, UTech, UE, the
Right.
HR managers.
Yes, sir.
All right. Are you in HR?
Sir, yes, as well as my other group members.
Okay, that's fine.
All right, thank you.
Mhm. All right, so that's it, guys. We're back. Same place, same time. All right. So enjoy the rest of your night and rest of the week.
All right, sir. Good night.
Okay, great.